WWE Network presents WrestleMania Kickoff.
On the heels of a spectacular Night 1, there are still many moments and memories waiting to be created because this year it's too big for just one night. Welcome everyone to WrestleMania Kickoff Night 2. I am still Corey Graves. This is still my co-host Peter Rosenberg. Peter, I hope you got a good night's sleep, had a chance to catch your breath after last night because we got a lot more WrestleMania coming tonight.
Well, listen, I had a great night, but I can't tell you I had a great night's sleep. I was up all night thinking about the Boneyard match. And I just have to say, I think I speak for the entire WWE universe when I say that was the most, I felt so good for one night to just be able to have fun. And that Boneyard match just took me to a completely different place. It was an absolute ball.
The entire WWE universe still buzzing about the Boneyard match. But elsewhere on the card, we've got new champions in WWE, one of whom was almost our host, Rob Gronkowski.
Yes, and now Gronk is back tonight to try to probably steal that title from his friend, Mojo Rawley, who stole the title from him last night.
Well, the outcome remains to be seen, but there is only one place that you can see it. Night 2 of WrestleMania, too big for just one night. Head to WWENetwork.com right now and sign up. WrestleMania is free for new subscribers. Or you can download the Fox Sports app or head to foxsports.com. Or for the first time ever this year, WrestleMania is available on Fight TV, or you can get it on traditional pay-per-view. Just call your local cable or satellite provider. You do not want to miss a moment of Night 2 of WrestleMania because, Peter, what a massive night we've got on tap.
Talk about it.
The WWE Championship is on the line as the reigning champion, the conqueror, the beast, Brock Lesnar, defends against the winner of the 2020 Men's Royal Rumble match, Drew McIntyre, tonight.
And WrestleMania matches are all about personal rivalries. It gets no more personal than this. Otis finally gets his hands on Dolph Ziggler.
And two of Monday Night Raw's premier gladiators will collide as the dominant Bobby Lashley with Lana collides with the ominous man from Amsterdam, Aleister Black.
I'm not gonna lie, I've had my eye on this match since the Royal Rumble, a last man standing match between Edge and the Viper, Randy Orton.
Last night, the Raw Women's Championship was on the line. Tonight, we see if Bayley can find the same luck as the SmackDown Women's Champion defends against 4 other challengers in a fatal 5-way elimination match.
And that's not the only title on the line. The Raw Tag Team Championship match also on the line. Andrade is out. And now the champions, the Street Profits, have Austin Theory and Angel Garza with Zelina Vega.
And we're going to double up on Women's Championship action tonight. For the first time ever, the NXT Women's title will be defended at WrestleMania as champion Rhea Ripley squares off with the Queen, Charlotte Flair.
We talked about how incredible the Boneyard match was. Well, tell me this. What are we going to see in a Firefly Funhouse match between John Cena and The Fiend, Bray Wyatt?
John Cena is back. My heart is beating out of my chest. So what am I doing at WrestleMania?
Came up from the bottom, so the show was all I know. Keep my friends at a distance, but my enemies real close, man.
John Cena is the champion.
This for my father, this for my bro. Hands full of fire, I'm straight to go. This is all I know, this is all I know. This is for my honor, this is for my squad. I'm full of fire, I'ma give it all I got. Yeah, this is all I know, this is all I know.
I know my role has changed. I'm doing the right thing. This year, WrestleMania should go on without John Cena. Because I know you are all passionate about the future of the WWE, and I feel you because I am too. I accepted a challenge because I believe in what I said. WWE needs to invest in its future. In my opinion, Bray Wyatt is not that future.
It's good to see you again, John. You don't really think we think that you care about the future, do we? I mean, John Cena cares about John Cena, right? And 6 years ago, at WrestleMania, you took something from me.
He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands.
One day I stopped fighting the voices. You had your chance. You failed against John Cena. And I started listening to him. And I realize now, if it wasn't for John Cena, the Firefly Funhouse, it wouldn't even exist. You broke me, John, with The Fiend. He put me back together. In fact, he wants you to step into our world of madness and mayhem. A world where anything goes and the fun never ends. So he is officially challenging you to a Firefly Funhouse match at WrestleMania.
This WrestleMania match is going to accomplish what should have happened 6 years ago, ending the existence of the most overhyped, overvalued, overprivileged WWE superstar.
He is waiting at WrestleMania.
The Fiend has dominated the WWE landscape with uncertainty, fear, and panic.
It's going to be a slaughter.
I will not panic. I sure as hell am not afraid.
John, after he's done with you,
At WrestleMania,
you're gonna play with us?
I expose the Fiend as an embarrassment.
A man who some would say is the greatest of all time in John Cena. The Fiend Bray Wyatt, arguably the most malevolent force WWE has ever seen. A Firefly Funhouse match. Peter, do you have an iota of an idea of what to expect tonight?
No, this is just like yesterday when we were talking about what is a Boneyard match. I don't know what a Firefly Funhouse match is, but I know that since the first time we all got freaked out when we saw The Fiend in that Firefly Funhouse, I knew at some point we would find out what it really was all about. And we will find out tonight. And I'm just so curious. I'm so curious about what's going to happen.
Curiosity could be the downfall of John Cena. Is it wise for John Cena to accept a match like a Firefly Funhouse match without any real detail? Is John Cena playing right into the Fiend's hand?
Yes, 100%. You are now completely entering his domain. I would describe this as a road game for John Cena, right? Like, this is a Firefly Funhouse match. This isn't like a hustle, loyalty, respect match, right? This is going right into the depth of what The Fiend does. And I just want to know what it's going to look like, how many creepy puppets are going to show up, what does The Fiend have in store for John Cena. But I got to say, John Cena on the microphone on Friday night on SmackDown was as passionate and as strong as I've ever seen him in his illustrious career. So I'm excited to see what he has tonight.
You can never count out John Cena on the grandest stage of them all, or will it all come full circle? Bray Wyatt has basically credited John Cena with the creation of The Fiend and the constant unraveling Bray Wyatt's faced since the moment we just saw at WrestleMania several years back.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, there's a lot more to get to on the WrestleMania kickoff. And Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming to PlayStation 4 on April 10th, 2020. Get ready to experience this legendary new beginning. Right now, let's take a special look.
The world is a vampire sent to drain. Even though I know, I suppose I'll show. See
Rated T for teen.
Play Final Fantasy VII Remake first on PlayStation.
PlayStation.
We are just getting warmed up. A lot more to get to here on WrestleMania Kickoff. We're going to take an in-depth look at the WWE Championship match, plus in-ring action. Don't move a muscle. We're just getting started. I want to talk to you for a minute, Peter, about the SmackDown Women's Championship match, a fatal five-way elimination match where Bayley defends her championship that she's held for a record number of days against not one, not two, not three, but four other challengers, one of whom is her best friend, Sasha Banks. Do you see any feasible way that Bayley retains tonight?
This is going to be a challenging night for Bayley, there's no question. And I want to say this. Obviously, we're going to spend time talking about Sasha Banks, and we should, because I think that's the craziest thing going on with this match. But we'd be remiss if we didn't mention that when Friday Night SmackDown ended on Friday, Tamina looked stronger than anybody else in this match. She absolutely has the momentum on her side. But that being said, how do you not talk about the history between Sasha Banks and Bayley, the amount of back and forth, they're best friends, and now they're trying to be on the same page. But we know, Corey, you did this. You were in that ring. People don't get into this business to not become champion. So that's what Sasha Banks has in mind tonight.
You're absolutely right. I've pontificated about it for years on Raw, on Friday Night SmackDown, about Sasha Banks' only motivation being herself. It's WrestleMania. It is the grandest stage of them all. It is the pinnacle of sports entertainment that Sasha Banks has aspired to her entire life. Tonight, there is no way the boss is going to pass up an opportunity to become SmackDown Women's Champion, even if it costs her friendship with Bayley.
Now, but here's what you have to think about. In Naomi, you have a former champion, right? She's had her eyes on the prize ever since she lost the title. So, does that distraction between Sasha Banks and Bayley open the door for a Naomi to regain the title, or for Lacey or Tamina to have their biggest moment ever in WWE?
Think about how close, on how many occasions Lacey Evans has come to becoming women's champion, whether it be on Raw or SmackDown, and the long history between Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Lacey, and the motivation using Lacey's own child as motivation. You got to keep your eyes on the sassy Southern Belle tonight. No doubt about it.
No, 100%. All five women are incredible, right? And I also don't think we should dismiss Bayley and what she's capable of, and she's pretty sly as well, okay? But that being said, the person I'll have my eyes on is Sasha Banks. What does she do? Is she friendly throughout the match? It's almost like a Royal Rumble, right? Like, are you teaming up throughout the match? But then all of a sudden, you could end up with Sasha Banks and Bayley staring each other right in the face.
The question remains to be answered. Which one of these five women will have the memorable WrestleMania moment of clutching the SmackDown Women's Championship over her head? We'll find out tonight at WrestleMania.
WrestleMania! Hogan, The Rock, one-on-one! A mixed reaction here at WrestleMania. This is amazing! This is a WrestleMania moment. Here we go! Hogan and The Rock! Is he gonna hold up there? He is! What you gonna do, Rock? What you gonna do? Unbelievable! It's working and even let people out! Cannot believe it! This is a show of respect.
I'll tell you what, you think about moments at WrestleMania, and for me, that moment when those two icons came together in Toronto at WrestleMania 18, maybe the best moment. It's up there, top 3 or 4 moments all time in WrestleMania history.
Two of the best of all time, an unforgettable moment for sure. And two women who look to capture their own unforgettable WrestleMania moments tonight will have the opportunity to do so as the NXT Women's Championship is defended for the very first time at WrestleMania as the reigning champion, Rhea Ripley, steps into the ring with the Queen, Charlotte Flair.
Here comes the Queen.
Talk about raw power, athleticism, agility, strength.
Charlotte Flair is going to WrestleMania.
Charlotte has earned an opportunity to reclaim her throne at the biggest event in entertainment, WrestleMania.
So everyone wants to know who I'm going to choose to face. I've held all the gold 10 times.
There are few better in the world than Charlotte Flair.
But the queen still wants all the gold. This is my brutality!
The brass, the brazen, the bold Rhea Ripley, NXT Women's Champion.
I don't wait for things. I get up, get out, and do what needs to be done until I get what I want. If you're gonna challenge for any title at WrestleMania, well,
What the hell? The queen is back!
So I thought about it, and I'll see you at WrestleMania.
The ultimate mic drop from Charlotte Flair!
when I first came to WWE, everyone would always say that I looked exactly like Charlotte. Oh, she's a mini Charlotte. So my entire career here, I've been trying my best so I didn't get compared to her. So yeah, I wanted to be a superstar, but I also wanted to be myself. Charlotte's dad, Rick, used to say,
To be the man, you gotta beat the man.
and that pretty much means that to be the best, you have to beat the best. And Charlotte Flair is considered one of the best in this business. I'm gonna beat the best to be the best.
Rhea, I'm going to take you to deep waters.
Flair looking to decimate Rhea Ripley.
And I'm going to drown the fastest rising star in the WWE.
The NXT Women's Championship being defended at WrestleMania. Rhea Ripley looks to truly step out of the shadow once and for all of Charlotte Flair. Do you think Rhea can knock down the Queen?
Absolutely. Can she? Absolutely. Since the first time I saw Rhea Ripley was at the Mae Young a couple of years ago, the second I saw her, I was like, oh, we could be looking at a future champion. And since that moment, I've thought it more and more. Rhea Ripley has a chance to end up on Mount Rushmore one day. I think she is that good. And I think she has an advantage tonight in that I don't think the pressure's on Rhea Ripley. She's brand new. She's going to have other shots. Charlotte Flair has to defend the reputation of Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. I think there's more pressure on Charlotte tonight than Rhea, and I think if Rhea wins tonight, she's just even further along that path to becoming an all-time great one.
Yeah, Rhea certainly has all of the tools to be great. I don't disagree with you in the slightest. But this is the Queen we're talking about. This is Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. There is no substitute for experience. And as impressive as Rhea has been in NXT, she's been the axe that cleared the forest in the women's division. This is the Queen we're talking about. No one shines brighter on this stage than a Flair. Charlotte Flair could once again become NXT champion. And think about what that would mean for the NXT brand as a whole.
Absolutely. It would be huge. And we know what Charlotte's done at WrestleMania before. We know what she did to Asuka at WrestleMania. We know she loves the big moment. So no doubt it's going to be a tough match for Rhea Ripley. But I believe in her.
I can't wait to see how this one plays out. Before we get there, Peter, got a few bills to pay.
Wow, that was intense.
Yeah, talkies are seriously intense. Talkies, face the intensity. Yeah, I'm gonna need those back.
And we have so much more to do tonight. Get this, we are less than 40 minutes away from night 2 of WrestleMania. I absolutely cannot wait. And guess what? We have in-ring action coming up soon, right here on night 2 of the WrestleMania Kickoff Show.
Let's talk for a second about the Raw Tag Team Championship match tonight, Peter. Of course, the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, defending against Austin Theory and Angel Garza, led to the ring by the sinister Zelina Vega. Who will reign supreme? We'll find out when we caught up with the champs.
Today is the day, Dawkins.
Tell 'em why, fam.
Since minute one, we've had 20/20 vision on WrestleMania. 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 And it doesn't matter what little plans Zelina Vega has with Austin, because we're here to disapprove of that theory.
Nah.
See the wordplay?
I see what you did there.
Focus. And it doesn't matter if we're gonna get touched by an angel, but we definitely gonna bust down an angel. You know what I'm saying?
I feel
Bust
you,
down.
dog. I know.
Bust down, bust down, bust down, bust down.
And just so we're on the same page.
What's that?
Yo, Charlie Caruso. Angel Garza is not the only Lothario on Raw.
Love Jones. Look at him. But we may be playing right now, but it's that season. It's WrestleMania season. So that only means one thing, that the Street Profits, your Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits are up.
Whoa. Fam, we gotta remix that a little bit, dog.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because it's WrestleMania. WrestleMania. So how about... WrestleMania is up, and we want
the smoke.
Peter, the Raw Tag Team Champions certainly seemed confident before this matchup.
Yeah, first of all, let me just say this. Is there anyone more charismatic in all of WWE than the Street Profits? I love watching them talk whenever they have a solo cup in their hand, if you will. But that moment a while back at the Barclays Center, when they took the Raw Tag Team Championships, was a huge moment for them, right? But let's be honest, as big as that was Monday Night Raw. This is WrestleMania. So there is a lot of pressure on the young champions tonight.
All I know is that the Street Profits cannot afford to overlook their opponents tonight. You're talking about two very talented, very game, young superstars on Monday Night Raw. Of course, Austin Theory, who, if you're not familiar, get online, find some of this guy's history. He is highly talented, truly a blue chip athlete, and we've seen Angel Garza for weeks in NXT and on Monday Night Raw. Angel Garza, a legitimate threat to anybody he steps in the ring with. I would not be completely shocked, Peter, if we had new Raw Tag Team Champions come tomorrow.
Now, I'll just tell you one thing. You messed up in one way. You said 2 talents. 3 talents, because you know you have to watch out for Zelina Vega. If you don't pay attention to Zelina, you could be in trouble.
No doubt about it. Peter, I am still buzzing from last night. Let's relive it, shall we?
We shall.
Welcome to WrestleMania, the first ever night one of WrestleMania. It's gonna be high stakes and no breaks, and it all starts right now.
This is really a grudge match here tonight for the women's tag team titles. Twisted Bliss, Nikki and Alexa win the tag team gold.
The King has arrived.
I'm on the move like a runaway. Don't turn it back up and
Elias has got the tights, and Elias with the win. The following contest is a triple threat ladder match.
We about to take it to higher heights. History's waiting when I arrive. Today is the dawn of a new.
Morrison's got his hands on the titles. Morrison and Miz retain the tag team titles.
This is the most serious test of Becky Lynch's nearly 1-year title reign.
Becky Lynch, she has got to escape now.
Covered by Lynch, and she has beaten Shayna Baszler.
Kevin Owens is fed up with the games, all the brainwashing from Seth Rollins.
Let's feel hard.
Seth Rollins purposely got himself disqualified.
Get back here. Let's do it. No disqualifications. No rules.
On top of the WrestleMania sign, Owens is able to put Seth Rollins behind him.
And now we battle for the Universal Championship. Spear! And another spear! Number 4. Looking for the jackhammer. Braun Strowman counters into another power slam. Braun Strowman is the Universal Champion.
the historic first night of WrestleMania is not over. It is a boneyard match. Phenom versus Phenomenal One.
Hey, Undertaker, where are you? Wow, there he is. And does Michelle know you're having this fight? Boom! Get up, boy! I thought you were an American badass. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Yeah! Hey, run, AJ.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's so many things I'll remember forever about last night. First of all, so happy for Braun Strowman. What an amazing moment for him. Shocked and happy for Becky Lynch. I did not see that happening last night. I really thought Shayna was going to get the win there. And then, of course, we'll all be left thinking about the Boneyard match. That moment when you see The Undertaker standing there eerily behind AJ Styles. We'll never forget it.
There's a lot more moments to look forward to right here on WrestleMania Kickoff. And it's WrestleMania. It's too big for just one night. If some is good, more is better. So let's send it down to the WWE Performance Center and Tom Phillips.
Welcome inside the WWE Performance Center for the first action of Night 2 at WrestleMania.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Natalya!
An opportunity for the Iron Woman of WWE, Natalya, to set the tone for this historic second night of WrestleMania, streaming on the WWE Network. The product of the Hart Foundation, set for her 7th match at the Show of Shows. It's already been a notable weekend on the women's side of things. The SmackDown Women's Championship match later on tonight in a fatal 5-way elimination match, and the NXT Women's title on the line as well.
And her opponent from Elmwood Park, New Jersey, Liv Morgan!
This is a great opportunity for Liv Morgan to go one-on-one with one of the true veterans of WWE. Natalya, of course, a former champion. They crossed paths inside the Elimination Chamber very recently, and they both felt the wrath of Shayna Baszler. Of course, we saw last night Becky Lynch retaining her Raw Women's Championship in the battle between the Man and the Cage Fighters. So there's got to be a piece of Morgan and Natalya a little bit pleased at the outcome of that match. So we're set to go here. Natalya one-on-one with Liv Morgan here on the WrestleMania Kickoff Show. On a quick sign of sportsmanship, and Natalya, as we mentioned, the savvy veteran trying to take command early, that smile beaming across her face. Cover and a kick out. Morgan trying to surprise Natalya. Now Natalya just playing with Liv Morgan here a little bit. And Liv Morgan has had such a trying couple of months here as a part of the Raw roster. Of course, her former best friends in the Riot Squad turning their backs on her in the lead up to the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Cover by Natalya and a kick out.
That was all me. Let's go, Liv. Show me what you got. Come.
And to Natalya's point, this is an opportunity for Liv Morgan to prove herself against one of the most established members of the roster.
That'll be the day, huh? You're going to be mad that day, Natty. That's what's going to happen that day. Okay, Liv. You want to make up?
And again, another sign of sportsmanship. And this time, Liv Morgan not going to fall for it.
What about now, Natty? You want to make up?
Oh, wait a minute. Got a hold of the single leg. And now Natalya, gifted submission specialist, has wrapped up Liv Morgan.
How about it, Natalya?
One championship, very important to both these superstars. We saw the WWE Women's Tag Team titles change hands last night, the first night of WrestleMania. Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss defeating Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors, for the titles. Cover and a kick out by Natalya. Natalya's had plenty of trouble with the Kabuki Warriors, and right now starting to have some trouble with Liv Morgan. Now Morgan just playing mind games with Natalya into the corner. And off the hip attack. Now Liv Morgan sending Natalya into the corner, but this one missed. And now Natalya with a big right. Using the top rope, tailbone first into the canvas. Oh, and Natalya follows it up with the low drop kick. A classic staple out of Natalya's offense. Here's the cover and a kick out by Liv Morgan.
Better do your job. 2. Shut up.
Now Morgan trying to find her way back here in this matchup, trying to catch a hold of Natalya.
Come back inside. Let's go.
Oh, and a big forearm shot by Morgan.
Inside, ladies. Come on.
Oh, and using the top rope to her advantage.
Get it back in here. Get it in here.
Oh!
Ropes, Natalya. Come on.
And a kick by Natalya, slowing down Liv Morgan. Oh, man, and the big discus clothesline along the apron, and Morgan is down.
Natalya, come on. Get it. Keep it in the ring. Get it in the ring, Natalya. Listen up.
A powerful Natalya. Now the official telling Natalya to get it back inside the ring. Both have until the count of 10 to get back inside the ropes. And now Natalya with a snap suplex. Natalya going for the legs. What is she thinking about here? As we mentioned, great submission background for Natalya.
Get off her gear. Get off her gear. How about it? How about it, Liv? What do you say?
And Natalya going surfing.
What do you say, Morgan? Watch your shoulders, Natalya. Watch your shoulders. How about it? What do you say? How about it? Watch your shoulders, Natalya.
Think about all the pain Liv Morgan must be in right now at the hands of Natalya.
No.
Oh.
What do you say? How about it? You want to answer me, Liv? Answer me. Yes or no,
Is Liv Morgan, going to submit? No, and instead Natalya breaks it up. Has the damage been done to Liv Morgan?
It's WrestleMania. You're not going to quit.
To Natalya's point, everybody's stepping up their game this WrestleMania weekend. Now the cover, shoulders down. Morgan trying to surprise Natalya, but a kick out and follows right back up. Great job by Morgan. Now trying to keep Natalya close. And Natalya, and for a second attempt there, this time Morgan ready for it, and the knees to the face of Natalya. Is that enough for Morgan? Cover. And a kick out at 2 by Natalya. Liv Morgan throwing perhaps her best shot on Natalya in that instance, but still can't put her away in the drop kick right to the back. And now maybe frustration coming into play for Liv Morgan. Oh, wait a minute. Ran right at Natalya. Natalya off the standing switch. Liv Morgan able to hold on to the ropes, and now Natalya. Oh, look at the power. Power of Natalya, and face first into the canvas. Cover by Natalya. Oh, and Morgan able to kick out.
That was 3. Oh, come on. Go.
And now it's Natalya wondering what she's got to do to put away Liv Morgan at WrestleMania. Well, trying to step through for the sharpshooter. Morgan trying to catch Natalya, and a kick out. Oh, and the step up enziguri. What a victory this would be for Liv Morgan. A great resume builder here at WrestleMania. Oh, caught by Natalya. Tried to use the ropes. Now a cover on Natalya. Natalya turns it around. Now Liv Morgan, shoulders down, and Morgan has pinned Natalya.
Here's your winner, Liv Morgan.
What a victory for Liv Morgan, a critical win in her career, able to knock off the former champion in Natalya here at WrestleMania. What a historic weekend it has already been on the women's side of the roster. More history will be made tonight. It is the only WrestleMania too big for just one night.
Pete, come on, man. What? We said pantyhose, right? Here, eat this. Creamy Snickers. You could use a little smoothness.
Pete? Pete Zagarine? Oh, that's Peter. I taught him social studies. Peter, what are you
Not
doing
Peter
over
Zagarine.
there?
Get smooth with the fresh ground nut butters and creamy Snickers.
Well, I'll tell you what, WrestleMania is where careers are made and careers change. And right there, we just saw maybe the biggest moment of Liv Morgan's career.
What a way to start night 2 of WrestleMania. There's still a great deal to get into right here. Don't move a muscle. That was like the appetizer. Dinner's coming up real soon. Don't go anywhere. It's WrestleMania night 2. And a romance that never was all comes to a head on the grandest stage of them all, as Otis and his love life has been on display for the entire WWE universe, much to the dismay of Dolph Ziggler. Things are going to be very interesting tonight after what went down on SmackDown.
Just promise to give me all the deets when you get home. Of course, buddy. Sorry, Otis.
Sounds great, Mandy. Winky face emoji.
Delete. I'm gonna get what I want, and everyone's gonna win.
Comes to Mandy, a little kitten, I definitely look forward to winning.
Mandy.
Baby, please don't throw everything away just for one little misunderstanding. Please, just call me back. Call me back, please. Bye.
Have you heard from her?
No, you?
No, she won't answer my calls, my texts. I tweeted her. I can't get a hold of her.
Me neither. What do we
What do we do? I don't know.
What do we say?
And if she does answer, what do we say to her?
I don't know. I'll say I was blinded by her beauty, or something.
Maybe we were looking out for her best interest.
We were. We were looking out for her best.
Sonia, do you guys have anything to say about the explosive footage we all saw on Friday of you sabotaging Mandy and Otis?
Some kind of ambush? What's wrong with you? You're better than that. This isn't TMZ.
No comment.
No comment.
Let's go.
I'm very curious to see how all of this plays out. I mean, it's been a soap opera essentially unfolding for the entire WWE universe, and poor Otis.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic, because I really do.
Dripping with sarcasm. Listen, Otis is an explosive, amazing athlete with freakish, almost superhuman strength and ability. Yeah. But the fact is, Otis got his mind caught up in a lady, and it's going to cost him professionally on the grandest stage of them all. This is a perfect example of why you never, ever, under any circumstance, mix business with your personal life.
Okay. Anyways, here's the thing. You're dripping with sarcasm. I actually do feel for Otis. I'm actually emotionally invested. I actually feel for the kid. You cannot blame someone for falling in love with Mandy Rose, right? You get it. He thinks he has this amazing Valentine's date, and to know that there's been this sinister plot behind his back. And I'll tell you what, they say nothing worse than a woman scorned. Nothing worse than an Otis scorned, all right? Watch out for Otis tonight.
Listen, I know Dolph Ziggler better refocus. He and Sonya better get on the same page because Otis is angry. Otis is capable. How will this all play out? I think I'm not out of line by predicting that everyone lives happily ever after. Dolph and Mandy and Sonya. It's like a thing now.
Wait, hold on. So you're saying, what about Otis?
What about him?
He gets left out completely.
I mean, he gets the performance.
I'm going Otis. I'm going my boy Otis tonight. And of course, a big, big thank you to The Weeknd for Blinding Lights, the official WrestleMania theme. It's off the album After Hours, which is killing it right now. Shout out to the whole EXO team. It's available on iTunes and Spotify.
I cannot wait. Maybe the most highly anticipated matchup of the entire WrestleMania weekend. We saw the spectacular return of Edge at the Royal Rumble after a 9-year hiatus for the WWE Hall of Famer. But standing in front of Edge tonight, the Viper, Randy Orton. This thing has gone beyond personal. And tonight, they settle things once and for all. It's last man standing.
Who's it gonna be? Oh my! You gotta be kidding me! The Rated R Superstar! Edge is here! It's been 9 long years!
9 years ago, I was medically disqualified from ever doing this again. But I refuse to live in a world of what-ifs. I got in the best shape of my life at 46 years old so I could step back in here and end my career on my terms. I have grit.
It's no secret that I have somewhat of a self-destructive personality. When I dug a hole too deep to get myself out of, there was one guy and pulled me up out of that hole. And it was you. You're a brother to me, you're family to me. Welcome home, Edge. Last night, feeling that chemistry that only we have, that was special. What if Rated RKO got back together one more time? To me, your family to me.
Beth Phoenix is here tonight to provide us with a medical update regarding her husband, Edge.
You think that I would hug you or shake your hand after what you did to my husband?
The Royal Rumble wasn't a one-off. Edge thought that he was going to start competing. I knew better. I knew that someone was going to put your husband in a wheelchair or worse. And I wanted you to have a husband. I wanted your 2 little daughters to have their father. You know what, Beth? I love your girls and I love Edge more than you ever could. Truth hurts, don't it? I love your girls and I love Edge more than you ever could.
This isn't love. You don't love me, Randy. You're jealous. We're a lot alike, but we have one major difference, and that's grit. It makes you so jealous that a guy like me had to work for everything and got it. I didn't have it handed to me. It's pretty simple now, man. At WrestleMania, if you got the guts, it's Edge versus Orton in a last man standing match. This is not a story that you dictate. This is not a story that you write. I write this story. And at WrestleMania, you won't stand back up.
You may be writing this story, but at WrestleMania, I'm gonna write the last chapter and end it.
I mean, you talk about 2 absolute icons in the game. 2 guys who I've never seen more focused. And I know I've used the word personal a lot to talk about WrestleMania. What's beyond personal? There's such a history between these 2. And now, with Beth involved. There is so much. I cannot. This, to me, this is the story that we talk about after WrestleMania for years to come.
This is more than just a personal rivalry. This thing has gone nuclear. And to add some expert insight on Edge versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania, let's toss it on over to our WWE Backstage crew.
Thank you so much, Graves and Rosenberg. Thanks for letting us join you here on the WrestleMania Kickoff Show on FS1. Of course, I am not alone here. Always with me, we've got Booker T, and also joining us, Captain Charisma himself, Christian.
What's up? Looking good. He's looking good.
Good. Got that turtleneck. You dig it. All right, so Christian, of course, I've got to come to you on this question. We're talking Randy Orton and Edge here. This has been one of the most personal matchups that we've seen in WWE in quite some time. What is going through Edge's head as he prepares for this matchup? How has his preparation been as he heads into this matchup?
Well, I think the thing that comes to my mind is confidence. I think he's a confident man right now, and I think he has Randy Orton in a way to thank for that. After the Royal Rumble, we saw Randy Orton lay a hellacious beating on Edge the night after on Raw, and guess what? He came back from it. So I think that he's got all this confidence that, hey, my body can withstand this. It can hold up to this punishment, especially from a guy like Randy Orton, who, let's be honest, he is the best in-ring performer in the world today, if not of all time. He's that good. But Edge talks about grit. And if he's done anything, you want to talk about his preparation, his mindset going into this. I think that if getting cleared to compete again lit a fire under Edge, then Orton, mentioning his kids by name, laying out Beth with an RKO, Beth Phoenix, I think that just turned it into an inferno. And I think that he's always had this chip on his shoulder ever since I've known him, since we were little kids. He was raised by a single mother. He's always felt like he's had his back up against the wall and had to come out swinging. And again, this is one of those instances. Is 9 years off. That is a lot to be out of the ring. We'll have to see if ring rust plays a factor. I, for one, don't believe it. I think that all the greats at least have one great one left in them, and I'm expecting nothing less from Edge here. I think my pick is Edge tonight. It really is.
Booker, what do you think about that? Edge has been away from the game for 9 years. Randy Orton at the best he's ever been in his career. Do you think Edge has what it takes to get it done tonight?
You know what? I say it all the time. Time off is one's worst enemy, especially in this game. And I know Christian is talking from his heart right now. He's speaking, I'm talking about, like Christian said, from the bowels, deep down inside right now. But I'm going to tell you, Randy is, like Christian said, the best in the business today. But like Christian said also, when a man get knocked down and he take his best shot, he know he can go out there and take a whole lot more. So we're going to see exactly what Edge got left in the tank here at WrestleMania.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for taking the time. Graves, Rosenberg, back to you guys. And again, you guys can catch all of WrestleMania 7 p.m. Eastern time on the WWE Network and also on the Fox Sports app. And you can catch us on WWE Backstage this Tuesday at 11 p.m. Eastern time, recapping all things WrestleMania.
Peter, this is certainly a match the entire WWE universe is buzzing about. I'm personally excited, but there's part of me that's a little scared, a little worried that this last man standing match might be the last time we see Edge or Randy Orton in a WWE ring. This thing could get out of hand, and I mean that in a bad way.
Yeah, and Christian alluded to it. Of course, it's scary for Edge, who's been gone for 9 years. To come back to this, to come back to a guy as dangerous as Randy Orton, and let's be clear, in my opinion, Randy Orton is more on point now than he's been in years. This man is dangerous right now.
And you do not want to miss a moment of the potential danger. It will be unforgettable for sure. If you haven't already, head over to WWENetwork.com and sign up. WrestleMania is free for new subscribers. Plus, you can head to the Fox Sports app or foxsports.com to get WrestleMania. This year, for the first time ever on Fight TV, WrestleMania is available. You can always go the pay-per-view route, so call your local cable or satellite provider. You don't want to miss a second, a fraction of a second, any measure of time. You don't want to miss it. It's WrestleMania Night 2.
From the Herding Group, the Majestic Collie.
And next up, we have the Experian Boost Cow.
It reminds us we can now raise our credit scores instantly, free with Experian Boost.
Experian Boost.
I'm up 13 points.
Boost your credit scores instantly, free with
Experian
Only at Experian.com/boost.
Your turn.
Got it.
Two of Monday Night Raw's most talented grapplers, Aleister Black and Bobby Lashley, will meet on the Showcase of the Immortals. Peter, I am very interested to see how this one plays out. Can Aleister Black continue his momentum, or will Bobby Lashley finally reassert the dominance that we have seen in the past?
Yeah, it's a big moment for both these guys. Huge, actually. You know, Aleister Black in this spotlight, this is a guy who's trying to establish himself as a true great in WWE. Everyone talks about the talent. You know, since he showed up from NXT, everyone knew what this guy was capable of. But do you step up in the biggest moment? And what I like about this is a bit of a weird mix of styles, right?
Definitely.
Both are powerful. You know, Bobby can knock you out with either hand. And Aleister can knock you out with either foot. But two totally different styles. Very interested to see how they mix.
I think it's going to boil down to, can Aleister Black avoid the grasp of Bobby Lashley? Because we have seen the Almighty in the past. When he gets his hands on an opponent, it's hard to stop Lashley and the destruction that he's truly capable of. And what a launch pad, what a propelling point for the career of Bobby Lashley and Lana to pick up a big victory over one of the most highly rising stars in Monday Night Raw, Aleister Black.
That's a good point, too. It's important for Bobby Lashley. Listen, WrestleMania is important for everybody. There's no one on this card tonight who doesn't have a major opportunity. I personally, there are two things I'm thinking about constantly. The Firefly Funhouse match, okay? I'm constantly thinking about that, and the Last Man Standing match. I need a pick from you, by the way, on that match. Give me a pick on Last Man Standing.
I won't do it. I refuse to pick anything because that way I can never be accused of being incorrect.
Typical coward.
Brilliant.
What are you most looking forward to?
I mean, you look up and down the card. I'm still trying to recover from last night. I agree with you. The Firefly Funhouse, there's definitely a great deal of curiosity involved there. But how about our main event? For the WWE Championship, Drew McIntyre, and what could be the culmination of his career. But the Conqueror stands atop the mountain. Brock Lesnar, the WWE Champion. These two Goliaths are going to do battle. I can't wait for that one to start.
Yeah, absolutely. And you think about what this moment means to a Drew McIntyre, right? We already know what his story is. Drew McIntyre was here. It seemed like he was set to be a star. Then all of a sudden, he's gone from WWE. Now he's back and is at WrestleMania with the biggest opportunity of his career.
Well, this is WrestleMania, and everyone across the board realizes this could potentially be a career-making night, a legacy-defining performance. Every one of the superstars from the top of the card last night to tonight wants to make that memorable WrestleMania moment.
Two incredible athletes fighting for their place in history. Brock Lesnar, Undertaker for the streak. I think they both know this is going to take a monumental effort to win this match. Vintage Undertaker. Now it's Lesnar with the power. We're getting into the Undertaker's yard. 3rd and 5 to the Undertaker. Oh my God, the streak is over. Brock Lesnar just cemented his legacy as one of the greatest performers in WWE history.
Brock Lesnar looks to achieve a little more WrestleMania magic tonight with a successful defense of his prized WWE Championship. But standing in front of the Beast Incarnate, the winner of the 2020 Men's Royal Rumble match. Will Night 2 of WrestleMania mean a trip to Suplex City or a welcome to Claymore Country?
My entire career, since I was 15 years old, all I've heard is potential, potential, potential. It's the one thing that was always attached to me. But you can't live on potential forever.
13 eliminations for Brock Lesnar. Every single man in the Royal Rumble match has been eliminated by Lesnar.
Brock was on the rampage. He's a measuring stick of this industry. This was my chance.
Number 16. Drew McIntyre.
There's never been anyone in WWE who has dominated the roster quite like Brock Lesnar. And then, Brock Lesnar ran into me.
Claymore kick! McIntyre eliminates Lesnar!
I could tell by the look in his eyes. He knew I wasn't like everybody else around here.
Drew McIntyre's going to WrestleMania!
WrestleMania. The main event of WrestleMania is a sham.
I was 21 years old. Mr. McMahon himself proclaimed me as the future of the company. Guess how many world titles I've won since then?
Drew McIntyre has never had an opportunity at a WWE Championship.
Drew McIntyre is a hyped up fraud.
As hard as it is to admit, there's only one person I can blame for that. I lost passion at the time. I was in my own head. This guy's the future. I was concerned one day they were just going to say Drew's the past. In the end, I'll be damned if the world's going to remember Drew McIntyre as an idiot playing air guitar.
At WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar is going to F5 Drew McIntyre and be done with Drew McIntyre. Since 2002, Brock Lesnar has massacred WWE.
The most volatile,
the most dangerous,
most decorated competitor,
predator
in the history
in all of WWE.
Brock Lesnar is the greatest champion to ever stand in a WWE ring. How in the hell can Drew McIntyre pin Brock Lesnar? He can't! He can't! He can't!
Oh, Claymore!
We're invading Suplex City and demolishing that bitch to the ground.
The hype is real.
I'm just as big, just as fast.
Drew McIntyre cannot beat Brock Lesnar.
The biggest match of Drew McIntyre's career.
This has been 19 long years.
Drew McIntyre is going to be just another wannabe that tried.
Finally, Drew McIntyre fulfills his destiny.
You can't beat Brock Lesnar.
I have to win.
He can't.
I'm gonna kick that head off his body, and finally, Drew McIntyre will be WWE Champion.
I like Drew McIntyre. I like him as a person. I love the way he works in the ring. I think he's an incredible talent, and I think this is an incredible opportunity. That being said, I am worried for him tonight. I'm sorry, Brock is just in a spot. He is so dangerous. I'm going with Brock Lesnar tonight.
Well, one thing is for certain, history books await. The pinnacle of sports entertainment awaits for Drew McIntyre. Might destiny be waiting at WrestleMania? There's only one way to find out. It is the second night of the year that WrestleMania was too big for just one night. The WWE title's on the line. If you haven't already, head to WWENetwork.com right now. Sign up because WrestleMania Night 2 starts now.
Adventure awaits at an event too big for just one night.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Cena!
What am I doing at WrestleMania?
He is officially challenging you to a Firefly Funhouse match at WrestleMania.
He has asked for his match on his turf, on his terms, and he is still gonna get his ass kicked.
John Cena, The Fiend Bray Wyatt. This is the only WrestleMania too big for just one night. Streaming on WWE Network tonight, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. As always, WWE Network is free for new subscribers.